Hey folks, good morning, afternoon, evening, tea time, whatever the fuck time it is in your part of the world, and welcome back to the Touchpadwarrior live stream. I'm your host, TP-Dubs, J-Dong, Jinja Snap. It's a rap name, we stuck to it for at least a solid year. We have a very, very, very special stream today. I'm joined with some legendary content creators, Luxthos, PandaTV, MrGM, and Revolol. We're going to be discussing the inside of being a content creator. So we all have different things we've experienced in life and how we go about our day-to-day activities and different content that we stream. How's everyone's day? Hope it's all well. We're all in different time zones, so probably a little bit interesting.
I hate you.
I'm aware. I'm sorry, Panda. It's 9 a.m. for you. But it's also midnight for MrGM, so... Which,
True.
You know, all getting older. Can't really stay up that late all the time. I just have obscure degen hours, so... Anybody want to just discuss something right off the rip, or have anything particular you'd like to talk about, or should I just go straight into questions?
How was everyone's day?
How was your night, buddy? Let's start there.
Why is Lux in the fucking forest? Oh, can I swear? Sorry.
Because I'm Canadian, you know?
You gotta play the card.
Are we able to swear? Or is this
Oh,
no
100
swearing podcast?
No, what the
Oh,
shit?
fuck yeah, is that it?
Oh,
The fuck? I don't think any of us could not swear for longer than 5 minutes. There's no way in
100%
hell.
could.
That was the
100%
criteria number 1 for the podcast. It was just
Yeah.
like me.
MrGM, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Dan, MrGM. Been streaming for 15 hours straight right now. It's been really good. It's been a subathon, and this is just a part of it, I guess. But yeah, I stream on Twitch and make YouTube videos and tweet out crap all the time. It's really great. And that's what I do. That's my life. And I play WoW, but I have been playing other things. I played ESO, Lost Ark, New World, you know, all the standard stuff. Star Wars, Final Fantasy. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it really. I'm just Dan.
You're just Dan. All right,
I'm
sounds
just
great.
It's really good.
I
I'm
understand.
really
have a
good at
limit?
selling myself, as you know.
Do you have a limit on that subathon?
Yeah, 24 hours for now.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's gonna go.
Mad man.
for-
Bad man.
Cool. I'm gonna adjust the
Hello,
volume
I'm
thing
Panda.
real quick.
Twitch chat's been sucking the soul out of my body for about the last 10 years. This is what
That
it
sounds
looks
about right.
like.
Well, it must be
10
nice to
years
have a
of
soul to
this.
get sucked out of you, you know?
That went after Ward, I think. It's gone.
I'm trying to make sure it adjusts
yeah,
this volume.
PandaTV. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's very early in the morning for me. So hello. Also, Rev makes me feel like I need to do a push-up.
Need to do a push-up?
You look like you run, and it annoys me.
Me?
Like, it looks like you make me look like I feel like I need to do a sit-up. Like this sucks. I didn't know it was gonna be like this. You know.
No, I mean, I don't run to the kitchen and back, but that's about it. I'm Revo. I do pretty much entirely like World of Warcraft content creation, like competitive player. The main attraction of my stream is competitive play. So I don't consider myself a content creator in the same sense as you guys do. I think the stuff you guys do is way more intense than what I do. I just kind of turn the stream on when I'm playing, and people watch for the competitive aspect. But I've been playing for a long time, 10 years, streaming for over 5 on and off. But yeah, it's a good time. I like doing it.
Oh yeah, buddy. I don't need to introduce myself. I think folks know I am. Hi, I'm a big bearded fuck that likes to drink and play World of Warcraft and a touchpad keyboard. That pretty much just sums me up. Let's start off with a question. And anybody is willing to... We're not going to do like a raise your hand type scenario here. It's just whoever wants to take it first, you can go for it. How did you get into streaming? Not everybody wants.
All right. I
Let's
can
go.
go. I can go. How did I get into streaming? Oh boy. I think it kind of started as like something that I just wanted to do on the side a little bit. I was slowly transferring what I was doing from work into a little bit at home, and I started doing this a little bit on the side. I just started turning my stream on a couple of years ago, like 3 to 3.5 years ago. I just started, I don't know, playing some random games, and at some point I started making weak ores for WoW, and then things started happening, I guess. and then I guess that's when it actually all happened, because before that there was not really anything going on. It was just me, my cell phone, my mom, and watching, and then yeah, that's pretty much that. And then I don't know, I started making WeCores for a while, and then like I got a couple viewers, and then things started kicking in a little bit, and I started really enjoying it because there was people in chat, and yeah, I started doing it a lot more, and then I started shifting my work like outside of my streaming schedule instead of the opposite, and then I mean, we're here today.
Hell yeah, buddy. Anybody else would like to go next?
My story's not quite as good.
No,
Nah.
it's not. It's
Nah,
not a
it's all-
comparison of whose story is
Oh, is
better
it?
for getting into stream.
No, I mean, I didn't really stream that much, you know, and I still, well, I guess I stream quite a lot now, but yeah, I've just made YouTube videos for like 10 years, and eventually it kicked off, and then I streamed on YouTube, which sucked so bad, and then I moved to Twitch, and that's basically it. But like, I've only been full time since what, like 2018, maybe? How long's that? Like 3 years?
Yeah, pretty-
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
Coming up to 4.
Yeah, so it took like 8 years to actually get somewhere in life. But I was working like full time, just doing it in the evenings and shit. And then I had like no work at work, so I would make thumbnails and script videos while at my actual job.
That's the move. It's efficiency.
Yeah, I mean it worked, right? Because I was doing nothing. Like I was in a pretty decent job, but I did nothing at the job, and it was killing me inside, you know. And I just wanted to be creative and make shit, and that's that's kind of what I did. And then I like left that job. Yeah, so I left that job to do full-time streaming and whatever, content creation. And I don't think it took me about 2-3 years to get more money, like in a year, than like 2 years to get more money than I had at my previous job. But like happiness took over, you know. Like I was so
100%.
like so fucking depressed at this job, like just hated life, that I kind of thought like, yeah, it's gonna be a pay cut, but like, you know, for happiness it'll be worth it. And yeah, it's been alright. It's been alright.
Shit, did I switch spot with? I wasn't aware.
Yeah, I lived in Australia and played WoW in a guild that was pretty well known and stuff like that. And then I moved to Canada pretty randomly, and we actually had enough internet to watch a YouTube video and play WoW at the same time. So streaming became like a real thing because I'd never even heard of it, to be honest. And so I was in a guild called Daramac on Darkspear back in the day. And this is with like Swifty and a whole bunch of other people and Vajira and all those guys. And Guild Wars 2 was coming out, and I got asked if I wanted to stream, and I literally had never heard of streaming before. And so I started streaming when Guild Wars 2 came out. And back then there was only maybe like 10 content creators that were full-time under WoW. So I was very lucky, right? It wasn't many people around at the time that were full-time. And then it sort of all steamrolled from there because Soda transferred to Darkspear to be a part of Dara, and there was all these people that were like, you know, trying to kiss his ass and play with him and do all this sort of stuff. And I came from a background of like touring with international metal and hardcore bands, so me meeting some streamer kid, I really just didn't care. I was like, I have no idea who you are, right? I just did a tour with Killswitch Engage and I'm fanboying over them. I don't care that you stream video games on this platform, you know what I mean? And so everyone was trying to kiss his ass, and I was just sort of like, dude, I don't know who you are. And it worked out to my advantage because there were so many people that were trying to like be his friend and wanted to be in his video. And it's the same story. It's always like, dude, I got the best idea for your stream. Where I was just like, dude, if you want to hang out and play, we can. I don't care about your stream stuff, right? And we just became friends naturally because of that. And so because of him and like Swifty and probably a guy named Binbash are the reasons why I started streaming, because they were like, you should stream, you're funny. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a crack. So.
Right, Rev, how did you get into streaming? And I guess also to tie into that, how did you get into like being extra competitive into like getting multiple rank 1 glads and whatnot?
Sure. So I mean, basically in Mr. Pandaria, which was what 7-8 years ago now, season 14, season 13, I had like just come out of high school. I was taking like an off year, and I was playing a lot of WoW and just kind of doing as much time into it as I could because I really enjoyed it. And I I got very lucky and I met some people who knew other people, that eventually led me to the partners that I was able to play to rank 1 with. And after my first rank 1, people, started to recognize me from other people's streams or just from, being around the game and whatever it may be. And, people would ask me like, hey, you should stream. There's not a lot of Warriors who stream. At the time, there was like 2 or 3 like really competitive Warrior players that streamed. And Warrior was a really popular class. So season 15, which was the year after that, I started to stream a little bit more, and people enjoyed it and asked me to do it more so. And then I kind of took off from there. I took a couple of years off and started streaming again, last year or the year before that a little bit, and was when my growth kind of really exploded. I think I like doubled followers in like a year or something like that. So it was a good time, and the new expansion with Warrior being so powerful was a really good, good time for growth for me, especially.
I got into streaming because I also didn't know what the fuck was going on. I started about 6 years ago now. I used to be a like officer / co-raid leader back in Wrath for a guild called Forgot to Repair on a very dead server called Death Rock. And one of our main tanks was Tally. Tally eventually, like, we wouldn't let him tank Illidan because you couldn't have enough block rating to actually tank Illidan at the time when we were trying to progress on him. So eventually he got enough rating, really started bonding with this guy, played with him every day. And I had no idea what the fuck the streaming stuff was. And we parted our ways at the end of Wrath Lich King. He went on to another guild, transferred, did his thing, blah, blah. I actually went to a brewery event in Southern California in San Diego. And I was going with a few of my culinary colleagues from Playboy. And I was like, wait a second, I think that's Rob. And I was like, Rob? It's like, shit, Justice? What the fuck? What's up, buddy? And I got to talking to him, and I was like, how's the I don't know, streaming your video game content thing going? And he was like, actually really well. And like, I was asking a lot of questions, trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. And I was like, man, I think that's something I'd like to do. That'd be really fucking neat. And that's literally what sparked me doing anything that I do. So it was really neat. Well, would anybody like to pick a question from that list that I have in the Discord? You're more than welcome to check it out. Otherwise, I'll just like go down the list. If there's something in particular,
you can go down.
Like
We'll just chat around it and. Yeah.
All right.
It's so funny,
Sounds like a plan.
man.
What? I'm just myself. This isn't scripted. What do you want out of me?
I love it.
I'm just a genuine human being. I'm whatever the fuck you get. This is what you get. If you don't like it, I don't know. Fuck off. Here's the next question. What personal challenges have you encountered on your content creation journey?
Just like sometimes turning this, like you never know what you're gonna get. I mean, you kind of develop a routine as much as possible, and you kind of, I mean, I know I do. I kind of try to take comfort into that a little bit. I turn my stream on and I kind of do things in a certain ways, and everything is like I do my little tweet, my little screenshot. Like I got my thing going on, but you never know who's gonna show up, right? So, the big challenges I think we're dealing. I think my biggest challenges for me has been variety over the past few years, because like I talked a little bit earlier, most of my stream has been built on, I don't want to say luck, but like it's just been this crazy thing happening with building the weak cores for World of Warcraft, getting insane amount of traffic out of it, an insane amount of growth out of it, and then having an entire channel that's built just around one game, and then trying to go through the roller coaster of what that game is going, right? So when World of Warcraft has amazing content, it's an amazing thing, because then you get more views, you get more people coming in, your chat is alive, and then you get a lot of energy out of that. It's awesome. But then when World of Warcraft is not doing too well, and nobody shows up, and everybody's tired of the game, then there's less viewer in chat, less people talking, and then you're feeling low energy level because of that. Because like to me, like viewership activity and like chat activity is better than coffee. Like that stuff will give me, I was about to say it's like Coke. Never done Coke, but
I haven't had it, but just for record.
Not in this house, you better not.
It's just a lot of energy, right? So like that's been my biggest struggle, because I want to try to diversify, play other games, do other things, just go with the flow as much as possible, and just try to have fun. And it's been just juggling with that, I guess. That's been my personal biggest issue that I've had to try to overcome, is You know, like try to stay energetic and motivated, even though like I try to play something else. I want to do something else. I just want to, you know, maybe like, hey, step away from X game for a little bit, come back, do whatever, and not feeling like, you know.
Are we allowed to like join in the conversation, or are we just answering the question? I don't know how.
Yeah, join
Yeah,
in.
sure.
We're all just meshed
It
together.
makes it hard as well, right? Because like if you turn the stream on sitting Ouroboros, you probably get 500 viewers, right? Doing nothing, just sitting there. And it's like, obviously when WoW's doing well, that number goes up as well, right? When WoW's doing well, you can turn the stream on, just sit in Stormwind and get 800 viewers or Orgrimmar, right? And it makes it so hard where, you know, exactly what you said, chat activity is such a big part of streaming, where if it's not active, it kills you, right? It sucks. That's the reality. And it's hard when the game does well, or you try and play something else and you're super motivated to play it, and then you turn the stream on and it's like 200 viewers and no one's talking, and you're just like, dude, I should just go back to my default. Like, I should just go back to what I know. And it's not a matter of like, a lot of people, when you say something like that on stream, they take it to heart, but they have to realize that it's not about them, it's about you as the streamer. It's hard to like, I had this conversation many years ago with Carnage. I'm sure most people know who he is. And even Soda, like these guys, their number that they have is just a higher number, right? Any streamer at pretty much any level has like a minimum amount of people that they want there to make them happy on the inside, right? That number just gets higher the bigger you grow, right? Like,
yeah, it's always a chase. You'll never actually like, have content with whatever viewership number.
And
you
it's
have.
just about the activity for most of us, right? If you're under 1,000 viewers normally, it's like if the chat's active, like you said, Lux, it's such a different vibe for your stream. You're so much more alive. Yeah. I thought you made a good point. I just wanted to reply to that.
I feel like when if it's a game that people like as well, like say if it's like super hyped and stuff, like people, it's just exciting, you know? Like you could be like, oh man, I'm gonna stream Lost Ark. You start streaming it, you love it, but the chat hates it. Like that sucks.
Definitely. Yeah, I had that
I mean,
experience.
it feels like a sugar rush a little bit, you know, because you know it's gonna peak, and then you know, like it's like Lost Ark, right? Especially with like drops and all that stuff. Like you know it's gonna go like, and then you know it's just gonna. But you try to, at least I try to, as much as possible, not think about that.
Yeah, especially as like a competitive player, like when the game is bad, it's hard to even turn the stream on because you know people aren't gonna want to watch, or you know, even if people are watching, it's hard to keep high energy when it's just like the balance is so bad that you yourself are having a frustration with the game, and obviously that's not like fun for people to watch, and it's hard to like deal with that at the same time as like trying to be an entertaining streamer for sure. And it's funny because like you were talking about with Lost Ark. I mean, I streamed Lost Ark the other day. And you know, interacting with chat, all that stuff, you know, full on stream. But I can turn on the stream and play twos with no voice and never talk to chat one time and get 10 times as many viewers. And it's just kind of the community that I've built because of the circumstances as being a competitive player. Like transitioning games is really hard in that case.
Yeah, I would rather just do a just chatting stream where I have like 5 active people keeping conversation rolling than to play whatever a hype game is. Having people to talk to and chat and have things going on, have a constant conversation, has me end my stream in a very positive high note. Like you have great conversations, active community, and that beats out a lot of crap on Twitch for sure.
I mean, I don't think it's about playing a hype game, right? I mean, at least to me, it's never been about playing a hype game. Like, I started playing. I mean, I hate saying it because it feels like it feels wrong when I say it that way, but like I started playing Final Fantasy a little bit before the huge wave that happened. I mean, I didn't play it like that early on. Like I know there's people that have been playing like a lot early on, but I just wanted to go on Final Fantasy because I wanted to go play a PlayStation 5 game that I could also play on my PC. And I happened to have found Final Fantasy works on both, same server, all that stuff. I was like, that's great. And then I told that to stream and people were like, yo, we should stream it. I was like, really? You guys want to watch that? And then I started streaming it. And then it's like everybody started streaming as well. And it started being this crazy thing, but like it never was like, oh, let's go play this hype game, you know, we're gonna make a lot of viewers. You know, it's like I just really feel like genuinely playing that, and that hypes me. Like I'm always looking for something that's gonna make me just like full of energy. Like it's almost, I mean, like we were comparing to Coke earlier, but it's like a high that you're going on. Like you're playing this new game and you see everybody like being hyped up about it and being excited about what you're doing, And that high level of energy that you get out of that is something that I keep chasing all the time, right? Because if I let it fall back down and then I get bored again, I get bored with the game. Everybody else can feel that I'm bored with the game. People don't want to watch. People don't want to interact because it looks like you're being bored and you're boring. And then you just go for, okay, let's find something else that's fun. Okay, so it's either I've been doing this for years with WoW, right? I would log on every day and I would try to find something that would make me enjoy the game, right? So even when WoW wasn't doing great, my whole mission in the morning was just waking up and being like, okay, what can I do today that's going to make me happy? That's going to make me have a good time.
I think that's the biggest issue at the moment as well with WoW, in my opinion. I've been doing this a long time, right? And I've always been the WoW guy, right? Even during WoD and all those things, I wanted to log on and play WoW. I wanted to. And at the moment, if we didn't have new content for, let's say, 5 months from now, right? I don't know what I can do. And that's the first time I've ever said that in the years that I've been doing content creation. This is the first, let's say it's 5 months into the new patch from now. I don't know what I can do to fill that void for 5 months. This is the first time I've ever been able to say that about WoW. And I don't know. There's nothing I can work out. So
yeah, it's definitely a dry spell. As somebody that's still playing World of Warcraft, I do have fun logging in, but that's purely because I'm a collector. So there's always something for me to do, and I do get fulfillment and enjoyment out of collecting shit. And that's the most mundane thing you could do in World of Warcraft. It's just going around and killing the same boss 800 times, and then finding out you have to do a small quest in Revendreth in order to get it to drop is really, really diminishing. But
as long as you're having fun with it, though.
Yeah, and I was. And then I like to make little mini games out of those things and do channel point predictions for if we'll get the mount to drop when it's so. I have fun in that element. So yeah, WoW's in a very shit spot right now. It's not grand. There's not a lot of things to do. But I'm going around and getting 80 renown on my warrior. He's finally not Necro, which feels really, really weird because I was Necro since the start of the expansion.
Just real quick on the content creation thing before we move on. I don't know if
Go ahead.
James might say something as well. I think I've been saying this for many years. I worked. I know my life a little bit touchpad. But I've had to work a lot of different jobs since I was a very young man, and I've worked in construction, chef apprentice, retail, security. I've worked as a bouncer for years, and streaming's the hardest thing I've ever done, hands down, hardest thing I've ever done. I worked in an office environment before having head and face tattoos. I went to university for superannuation finance. I worked for a company in Australia called AAS, suit and tie every single day, and this is hands down the hardest thing. I've averaged 55 hours a week for almost the last 10 years. And my first 5 years of streaming, I averaged over 60 hours a week. The longest break I've ever had in that time is 2 weeks. And I almost had to quit streaming because I took a 2-week break and didn't have enough subs after a 2-week break. So almost not enough money to pay rent. Luckily, I saved. And, you get back from your holiday and you stream 10 hours a day and try and get the sub count back up and all those types of things. But it's when I say it's the hardest thing I've ever done, a lot of people automatically go, oh, but it's not physically demanding. And it's not just about that, though. You have no idea. One of the big things that people don't realize is your sub count, right, is your fluctuating yearly income. It's not your day-to-day income. If you have 1,500 subs and you've got 300 gifted subs and then you lose 300 in one day because it's gifted subs falling off, that's right. The nature of the beast, right? It's a phenomenal thing, but then it does happen. That's your yearly income changes, not your weekly income. Your yearly income changes based off that, right? So you have to deal with that. It's like being a business owner, like a small business owner, but it's literally just you. And there's so many layers that people don't think about with streaming. I think mental health is going to be a big thing with streaming in a couple of years from now. If they do a lot of studies, I think we're going to see a lot of young kids, having really bad mental health stuff because there's this huge thing of you could do everything you can. There are so many streamers on this fucking platform that shit all over me and so many people as a content creator, and they don't get over 50 views. The amount of people that I see that have all the things that you see in every Twitter video that's made by someone that doesn't stream. This is what you need to have to be successful. Good audio, good overlays, good transitions, good everything they could possibly have. Good setup, good PC, no lag, no nothing. And they don't get over 50 viewers. it is crazy how big this platform is now and how many people there are on this platform that deserve to have 10,000 viewers. They just don't have it. Right. So I think it's a very, very, like, there's so many things that people don't think about with content creation and how much of your life you literally sacrifice to do this. So,
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in there.
That was a good one. No, I 100% agree. Like, it's if you go work in a regular job, like typically we'd have somebody above you. Hey, you're doing this shit for the day. Clock in, clock out, go on your lunch, whatever the fuck. Get out. And like you just go through that rhythm. It's boring. It sucks for a lot of jobs for sure. But when it comes to content creation, you're your own boss. You have to do everything. You have to manage all these things. And because you're curating your own space to make that environment, there's very few people you get to like bounce ideas off of, because they may not understand, especially if you try to talk to any like your real life friends about what you're doing. They're not going to understand a damn thing you're talking about. And so then you just kind of feel alone in your space. You end up being a recluse, and it's hard to try to define or build up your routine or what you do to try to make each day better. And you're always just constantly chasing after either higher viewership, more engagement, fun, etc.
It makes it hard as well, right? Because if you fail as a content creator, you can't really blame anyone else but yourself, right? That's the mentality that a lot of people have, because realistically, it's up to you. There's no, it's not like the type of workspace where you could have this and have some sort of, you're a step ahead of the people or whatever. Like the first 4 years of my stream, I sort of did what Lux is doing now. The thing that I was known for is I had a different green screen background every single day. And that's what people knew me for. I would stream from like under Swifty skateboard, and it'd be a video of like some guy had a GoPro under his skateboard.
I remember that.
Yeah, like stupid stuff like that, right? But now if I did that, it's not original. There's so many people that do anything. There's nothing you can come up with now. Maybe that AI girl that came out, I don't know her name, but her streams like popped off where she's like an AI and she wears like that suit. But she invested like 25 grand into the suit to get it working to that point in some like course. And that's probably the most innovative thing I've seen in ages, right? Everything's been done. Yeah, it's a super hard thing for your mental streaming full time. So
the mental health thing, you mentioned it. It's like a dual-edged blade, right? So you feel like, you don't want to. You feel like you feel down because the stream's doing bad, so you don't stream, which makes the stream even worse because you're not streaming. Like it's like it's like torture. But like it's I don't know. Like I don't stream weekends, which I think probably hurts me quite a lot. But having those 2 days off a week is honestly the fucking best. Like, and then I come back like, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready for Monday sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Like I've streamed a couple weekends here and there, because I see a lot of people that stream every single day. Like Panda does 55 hours or something like that. I'll probably do 55 hours in like 2 weeks.
For brands, how do you go about choosing brands to partner with and connect with?
I was about to make a joke, but I don't want it to be. They have money. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, in reality, like that's a serious point, right?
I mean,
So-
that's the best point, because there's so many out there right now that are trying to grab people for like, hey, do you want to be a sponsor with us? We're gonna give you 5% of all the sales you make, and that's it. Like,
God,
that's not a partnership. You're just an affiliate marketing for them. You're doing sales for. Okay, I just wanted to put that out of the way.
No, that's an extremely good, solid point. A lot of people will get thrown off by those ones. Like, we'll help you out. Like, just do that. It's fine. It's like, no,
Well,
it's
that's
not.
when you
motherfucker. That's-
free shit. That's it. Like we'll give you this keyboard and mouse for doing this. Like, thanks.
I mean, if they give you enough stuff and that stuff has value to you, like let's say you get a sponsorship with like mouse and keyboard and headset. Like if you get like a full, because that's usually how it starts with like a lot of these brands. But at least they're giving you something, right? So like, it's more about brands that just they come to you. They're like, hey, we're gonna give you like 5% sales on every PC you sell, and then we're gonna give you like a 10% discount. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're not partnered with that team. You're just selling shit for them for free.
You're just an advertiser.
Yeah, you're just an advertiser, really. Like, but at least if a brand comes up to you and they're like, hey, listen, you're gonna make like 10% off sales. We're gonna give you brand new mouse, brand new keyboard, brand new headset, and then we'll see in 3 months, right? That's I mean, if you're starting off and you have like, I don't know, like 20, 10, 30, 50 viewership, and you get a deal like that, I mean, that has
Yeah.
value, right? I mean, obviously,
I'll-
it's no brand is going to be like, hey, we're going to pay you $500 a month. Like, no, you're not going to start up there, right? I mean,
I
And if
think
there
it's
are any out there,
important
I'll
to
take
know
it,
your
take it.
worth, but I think it's also important to like rein it in a little bit as well, right? Like I've seen content creators that average less than 100 viewers angry that a brand didn't offer them thousands of dollars a month, and it's like if they offer you a whole bunch of product for free, don't sign a long-term contract, don't sign a 6-month contract. But if you're new and a brand is reaching out to you and they say, hey, we'll provide you with, you know, a couple of $1,000s worth of keyboards and mouses, sign a 3-month contract, right? Don't sign a 6-month or a 12-month one. Don't think that you're going to start your stream and you're going to get paid $1,500 an hour or something like that, right? I think it's super important to as well, like a lot of people straight away, as soon as they start streaming, try and get like a management, or they'll try and get like a network that they work with and stuff like that. I think at the start, it's important to do it yourself. I have a manager now, but I'm very lucky that I have a friend that like runs the biggest like gaming podcast network in Australia. We've also been friends for like 20 years, and he has a very serious IRL job, but he gains a lot by managing me because he meets people within the industry for his gaming podcast. So we both gain a lot from it, and he earns crazy money in his normie job. So like I'm never worried that he's gonna rip me off or anything like that. And we've been friends for like 20 years. But I think it's important to know your worth as a content creator, and you see these tweets about it all the time and stuff like that. But also be realistic, I think, is the big thing there. If you're a 30 viewer Andy, Asus isn't going to pay you 10 grand a month for you to have a logo on their stream, right?
No.
Like, yeah, if they offer you a laptop, take it. Don't sign a 6-month contract, sign a 3-month contract. And if your stream magically pops off in the next 3 months, reevaluate everything in that 3 months, right?
I have a theory that like when you're starting off and trying to look for brands, you should have one that makes it look like incredibly professional or respected. So like maybe a major brand that like somebody else knows or is easily identifiable by logo. And then aside from that, I think they should be something that benefits you or curates to you as a person. So like I have Grimfrost, I'm an ambassador for Grimfrost. I drink out of drinking horns. It's something I already do.
yeah, for sure.
And they don't.
I mean, it has to be genuine. Like,
Yeah.
it's,
Because like
like,
I've seen some
for
people
example,
get brands and it's like that doesn't look. That's not what you use, homie.
Yeah, I mean-
like
Yeah.
it has to be something that's like you can't you want to be able to back it up without seeing like you're selling stuff to people. That's not what it's about, right? I mean, like for example, I'm sponsored by Corsair, and I knew that I wanted to go with them because I've been using their product for a long time. So like, of course, I didn't fucking start throwing dynamites in the ocean, like trying to hit something. Like I'm like, I love Corsair product. My PC is entirely built with Corsair. I have already stuff. Let's go check them out. Let's go. And I messaged them and it worked. And like, that becomes easy afterward because you don't have to try to sell stuff to people. I'm genuinely using their gear. I've had to deal with their customer support. I've had to deal with their, with their team. I've had to deal with their products, and you already have real life experience with all that stuff, and you already know what you're talking about, and you're just genuinely appreciative of their products. So like that you can't, you don't want to be a sellman. Like you just don't want to be in that position where you're trying to push stuff to people. That doesn't really.
I will say, I think it's super important if a streamer does decide to take like a one-off sponsorship thing, man, support that streamer, right? And I'll give you my quick example. I did a Raid Shadow Legends stream, right?
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, why would you do that and stuff like that? You know what I spent the money on? Laser eye surgery, so I don't need glasses anymore.
boom.
One stream paid for one of my eyes, right? And that's what I try to explain to people. I'm always very upfront and always honest about that sort of stuff. And I always tell people, like, if you see a streamer that you like, even if you don't like the thing that they're doing, just leave their stream open. You don't have to watch it. If you don't like their sponsored content that they're doing for that one night, if it's like, I'm not talking about signing a branding deal for 3 months. I mean, like a one-off sponsored stream. Just leave the chat open. You don't have to type in it. You don't have to do anything. If you just don't enjoy the content, but still try and support them, because not every streamer is. People need to get rid of this illusion that every streamer is Summit or every streamer's XQC. Not everyone turns their stream on and it's not $3 donations all day. It's not bang, 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 bang. Voice to text, voice to text. Here's 1,000 subs in a day. There are literally days where I'm sure every single person here will turn the stream on and be minus subs at the end of the day, and top donator is 0. The only thing we can hope for as content creators is you have more positive days than negative. You know how you fill that void? You do some sponsored streams, right? And hopefully that catches up. In Oceanic, we don't get bounties, so we're double fucked, right? Bounties are a great way for content creators to make revenue. We don't
Really?
get them in Oceanic, so I have to do
I
a
don't have those
sponsored
as
stream
well.
every here and there. So
Like I did a contract similar to him, like he was talking about Corsair. I did some stuff with a company called Squad OV, who does like a video review software that like obviously is really nice for competitive players. So it like fit into my stream really well. It fit into like my player base really well. It was really easy for me to like talk about, and I used it before they sponsored the stream. So I used it. I was like, this is super cool. It was it's a startup. I like contacted them and I was like, hey, can we do a partnership? Because I think this is super cool. And like the other thing that he kind of touched on for a second is the amount of like emails that I wrote to like all these different companies and sponsors. I'll just like throw myself out there, like, you know, if I can talk to them about whatever it may be, and maybe I don't take it, maybe I do take it. Like, I think just putting yourself out there and throwing out emails and putting your name in people's minds is definitely worth doing, to see what you can get for sure.
At least once a month I do that.
Surprised. Yeah,
Like I just
you'd be
fuck it,
surprised.
shoot your shot. Might as well, right? So how do you try to like formulate when you can go live, or what's a day where you feel like you can flick on the camera?
Sure. So I mean, I work like 9 to 5. I work like an office job, like pretty low impact, and so pretty much any day for me as a competitive player that I can find people to play with is like the hardest thing, especially when WoW isn't like doing well. Sometimes it's hard to find people to play with, and sometimes it's hard to, you know, really bring the content that people want to see. So it's pretty much when I have partners, when I have people to play with, when I can actually play the game at like the higher level. I can, you know, I'll do streams when I have the time to stream, and I don't have like, you know, not necessarily high level partners. I'll play with like LFG or just a random viewer or whatever it may be, and like,
Or end up
that's
doing double
fun.
Necrolord Warrior 2s.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which is super fun, and that's like, you know, great content. I think people really like that. And it's like, it's just different. It's different. So it's like, you know, sometimes it's really a hit and people love it, and people will, you know, I'll get as many viewers or more viewers than normal, or sometimes it's like, you know, struggle if I don't have, you know, the partners, or like the competitive scene is slowing down. Like for the, you know, last patch a couple months, there was like almost no competitive scene. Like the top 10-15% of the ladder was like nobody played, nobody queued, everything was like totally stagnant, and so that was like a really, really rough time. And I'd get like a third of the viewers I normally get, and then the patch hits and it just shoots all the way up. And so it's like, it just depends, definitely.
I mean, I don't set alarms, but you know, I'll just like stream during the day, and then like in the evening, I'll just chill out, you know, and then the weekends. But obviously, I'll stream and YouTube video. Like I'll just kind of work like fucking crazy within like, you know, the space of, I don't know, like 7 a.m. to like 7 p.m. and then that's it. And then I'm kind of done for the day. Unless, you know, something happens, like there's a PTR drop or some big news or something, I'll be like, yo, I need to, you know, make a video, which is kind of good. Doing it full time that I can do that, you know, I could be like, yo, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay up till 3 in the morning doing this shitty video. But yeah, so that's kind of it. And yeah, as I said, you know, I go out on the weekends, I see friends on the weekends. Just kind of, I don't know. I feel like I don't put as many hours into it, but I kind of like with the YouTube
it sounds like
stuff,
you do if you
like
do 7 to 7.
with the YouTube stuff, I can make a video like really fucking quick. You know, I don't script it. I can edit. Like, I don't know. It sounds a bit big-headed, but like I've been doing it for so fucking long that I can just literally just, you know, I don't need to, you know, write out a whole full script or anything like that. You know, I could do a video. So what my current thing is I get up at like, I don't know, like 8, do a video, done by 12, and then stream the rest of the day. Basically.
So I do still work. Sadly, I'm not a chef anymore. I work at a coffee shop. It was kind of hard being in the food and beverage industry about 5 years ago, especially in California. Not very high demand for cooks. They're everywhere. Nobody needed you. So I went from getting my degree, and before I even finished getting my degree, I was working at the Playboy Mansion for 4 years as an event chef. I was like, sweet, I got a killer resume at like 23. Let's go. Couldn't find a job, so I work at a coffee shop. I can make you a wicked latte, and like, you know, if you want a swan, I can do it for you.
One?
A
Like
swan?
on top of the coffee?
Yeah, like latte art.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Also, you
boba.
can make a triangle sandwich as well, which is
That video got 40,000 views out of fucking nowhere. Just making an illegal sandwich. Oh man. Okay. So a lot of what I do is social media. Like that's primary what my focus is. So there's like a tier list for what my prioritization is on like what social media I'm working on for that day. So typically it's Instagram, and then it's TikTok, Twitter, and whatever the fuck else is going on. So like I'll check my Discord and I treat that as social media. That fills in any blank. So while I'm at my job, if I'm on my lunch break, I'm managing social media. I'm talking to people, networking, etc. So I work from 9:30 a.m. to 6:30ish. I get home, I have about 2 hours to check on the animals, check on my dad, hang out with my fiance, and eat dinner before I go live at 9. So I do like 30 minutes of prep, go live, stream for 4 hours, get kind of drunk, and then knock the fuck out. That's typically my routine or what I do as like how my life's constructed with content creation. Luckily enough, things have been getting better as time's going on with doing that. Rhythm, having a set schedule has been the most beneficial thing. I didn't have a schedule before that sucked. That's pretty much what I do 6 days a week.
I think the biggest thing is consistency, right? So consistently streaming, so people know when you're on, and then when you do have that free time and those times where you're not on, I try and really like these days. I'm with the person I'm probably going to be with for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? We have a mortgage. It can't get more serious than that. But it's like when I try not to. One thing that I used to do is I used to say like, okay, I've been live for 8.5 hours today. Fucking, I'm just going to stream a couple more hours. I try not to do that anymore. I try and really stick to the 8.5 hours, 9 hours a day type thing. And then when I do have a day off, I actually take it off.
I think it's pretty much the same thing for me. I crafted my whole schedule around the idea that I was replacing my day job with streaming. So like I used to work as a web developer, which is what allowed me to start working from home, because you can easily make designs and front-end development from home and all that stuff. So I could do that. And then I slowly shifted having my schedule of streaming build around the idea, my girlfriend's going to work. Well, I might as well hop on and stream. And then I would stop my stream a little bit before dinner, and then I would just spend the rest of the evening with family and stuff. So, and then I take one day off on Saturday just so I can at least have one full day where I can plan activities and do stuff. And so that I feel like I wouldn't be able to do 7 days. I mean, I like energy wise I would be able to, but it's not seeing who you're spending your life with, and like just on evening every once in a while, it's kind of rough. So anyway, having a full day off for that and spending time doing that, I think, is really important. But it's still a heavier schedule because I still do Sunday. So I still do Sunday to Friday, and then it's usually going to be 8 hours. And then sometimes I'm going to do night stream, especially when I was raiding WoW. I had to do, because of my schedule, I had to do 3 extra nights. Like you already stream like 8 to 9 hours in a day, and then you got to come back from like 9 to midnight or whatever to raid 3 nights a week to kill a fucking mythic boss. Like, you don't have a lot of time left. So
it does end up being kind of this beast that you end up doing too much of it, and it's hard to tell yourself like, okay, no, you need to be away from the camera for a little bit. You need to reset yourself. Yeah. You need to recalibrate.
That was a very, very hard thing for me to do the first few years. It was a big struggle for me taking days off, because in my mind I was sort of, it was very much the growing time of Twitch, and it was very much the mindset of like, if I take a day off, someone else is going to be on, and they're going to be funnier, or they're going to be better at this, or they're going to do this, right? And it took a long time for me to get out of that mindset with myself. So
I was gonna say it goes along with what you were saying before, where you take a day off, a week off, a weekend off, whatever, and you see the sub count drop, and it's like immediately you think, oh, if I had been streaming those days, like it would have been different. So it definitely can be hard.
And if you make like X amount of subs on average per day or whatever, like I don't know, you get like 5, 10, 20 subs a day, and then you're like, well, if I would have streamed Saturday, I would have made that amount of subs and that amount of new followers and new people discovering the stream and all that. Like it's easy to fall into the pattern of stream all the time. But then if you stream all the time and you're all the time tired and like you look like shit and you got no energy, well, like what's the people point? Are just gonna join your stream. They're gonna be like, okay, well, this person's boring, tired, and like, let's get out of here.
Hi, watch me be boring, tired, and depressed. It's gonna be really entertaining.
Also-
you gotta give your best show in a sense, right? So if you can take a day off and stream a little bit less, and I've seen a couple of streamers do this recently. They've like decided to kind of constrain their hours instead of streaming for a very long period of time. I mean, for some people they have the energy to do it, right? So it's not a bad thing. There's people that can stream 15 hours, and the 40th, I don't. We're gonna pick 50. 15 sounds easier to say. The 15th hours they're just as glowy and energetic as they were the first one. So there's people that it works, but like for me, no matter what I do, after 8 to 9, I start crashing. Like,
yeah.
And it's also, I don't know if it's just energy wise or it's also correlated to my schedule. So my schedule at around the time of 5, which is where everybody leaves work. So like my stream is worker lurker for Eastern time. So everybody watch my stream while they're at work. When it's about time to leave work, well, my viewership drops down, my chat interaction drops down, my energy drops down, and then it just goes into the, I'm not gonna keep streaming for 3 hours and it's just gonna be like awkward for everybody. There's like it's slowly going down a hill. Let's just cut it there, start back tomorrow morning. Let's give the chance to somebody else that's doing great right now somewhere else,
To folks who would like to start a journey as a content creator, what advice would you give them? Or what advice would you give your past self? Don't. Just don't.
I've actually got a really good answer for what would I tell my past self.
Okay, go for it.
I think if I ever fail as a streamer, it's going to be because I'm too stubborn. I am the ultimate example of I'm very lucky to be friends with a lot of big boy streamers, right? I remember years ago, I had a conversation with Tim the Tapman. We both got invited to MLG Ohio, and we went to dinner and we had a conversation about him being scared to start streaming full time. And I was like, dude, you're hilarious. Like, you're going to do really fucking well. Never once have I asked for a host. Never once have I asked for help. Same with Soda, same with Summit. All these guys that I've been friends with for loads of years. And that'll be my downfall. That'll be my downfall, is because I'm too stubborn. I'd rather be someone's mate than be that other streamer that asks for help, right? Maybe it's because I'm 36 and just sort of the way that I was brought up. That's how I am. But if I could go back then, I would. If I could start again, I wouldn't look at it as the mindset of like, how people call like Greek god, like beach god or whatever they call it, right? The dude's a millionaire and he now has a US visa. They can call him whatever he wants, but that works, right? So I would tell myself, like, don't look at it as like leeching or anything like that. Look at it as like trying to get ahead in an industry that is so oversaturated. Use those friends to your advantage, right? Like reach out and be like, hey man, can you help me? Can you help me with this?
That sounds rough. use
Well,
friends.
No. I mean, like, okay.
Use your
what I
friends,
mean by that is like,
folks. Use them.
These days now, it's like there's so many people doing this. If you don't try and network way more, or you don't try and do these things, you're never going to get anywhere, right? You're like,
you can ask for a little,
I never will. I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
And it'll be my downfall. So that's what I'd tell myself.
MrGM, what's some advice you would give your past self or to somebody getting into content creation?
Don't.
God, everybody just don't.
No, I don't know, because like you just say like the stereotypical shit, right? Like as Panda said, all those YouTube videos of like the 50 viewer Andys are just like, yeah, so you gotta have really good transitions and you gotta have like all the stuff on the screen. It's like, no, like come on. It's just like, to be honest, like some of the biggest streamers in the world just have like a really fucking scuffed setup and it's fine. Like you don't need all the bells and whistles to, it's not gonna make you a better streamer to have like the fucking coolest overlays in the world. Like,
It's literally the last thing you need to worry about.
Yep.
Maybe good audio. That's about the only thing.
Yeah. Sort your audio out.
Don't sound like a toaster. You'll be fine. If you want advice, like what I would tell myself is a couple of things. First of all, don't fucking pre-build your shit. Don't go full Diablo 2 on that shit. Like, I mean, when I was a kid and I was playing Diablo, before starting a character, I needed to have the entire gear needed to start that druid. You know what I'm saying? Like, before I even level the druid, I needed to have the full set of gear waiting in my stash. Okay? Don't do that with anything you want to do. So if you want to start streaming, don't like pre-make your entire layout, get the best gaming PC and all that just fucking turn your fucking stream on. Do that, and then you'll figure out everything else later. That's the first thing. Second of all, try to try to make try to find a niche, something that's not, I mean, I know everybody says that, but literally, like, you have to find one thing that is going to make you stand out in a way. So either you're really, really fucking good at the game, either you are hilarious, and that's going to be the hardest part because you're going to have to make other people figure out that you're hilarious, so that's going to be tough. Or you're making something for a game, like I made WeCores for World of Warcraft, and it kind of just lined it up in a under a couple of, I don't fucking know how it worked, but it did. Or you can like make guides for a game. Like, you have to fill out something that is going to attract viewership to your Twitch stream that is not Twitch. So like, figure out whatever the fuck you want, like on YouTube, on Reddit, on any forum post, on anything that is not Twitch, and drive traffic to your Twitch using that niche. That's going to be the biggest thing. And then once you figure that out, you run that shit for 3 years. And then when it's okay, stable, and it's not about to crumble every second, then you start doing something else a little bit slow, and then you just ride that shit. So that's what I would tell my past self, because I feel like I've been trying to figure that out for the past 3 years, and yeah, that's what I would do.
You see it time and time again, right? The amount of videos that I've seen of people being like, I'm doing my first stream, and they've gone out and spent, you know, $5,000, $6,000
They
on
have
a mixer,
8 Elgato
dual
lights.
stream. Yeah, like
Your first stream? Jesus.
like Mr. GM said, some of the biggest streamers in the world have the scuffer setups, man. Like, literally, old mate, the
XQC
League of
streaming
Legends
on a
guy.
wood chair.
Yeah, like one of the biggest streamers in the world uses that Logitech headset, right? And that's literally his thing, is that he just uses a headset mic, and people love it, right? So it's like, you don't need to go out and spend fucking 50 grand on your setup to stream for your mum. You know what I mean?
I mean, that would probably be the biggest thing. It's just like, don't worry about things that cost money. Try to figure out what you can offer people. Like, you just have to give a reason for people to watch you, no matter even and I think some of the hardest part about it is believing that you can offer that to people. Is like trusting yourself a little bit, like, especially, and I think some of them are really, really tough. Like, if you're a really, really good player, usually really good player in professional gaming are going to have a little bit more confidence, like, because I think it takes a lot of confidence in yourself to push yourself in that space, right? To be able to be calm about, like, for example, PvP. Whenever I watch PvPers play WoW, like, I literally, like, I do an arena in 2v2 and I'm getting like attacked by people and I panic and I'm fucking, what's going on? And then I see people like doing this shit like the calmest way possible, and you see they have the confidence. They're like, I got this, you know, I know what's coming, or they know that they're gonna win or lose when the, you know, they full confidence into this. But yeah, like Peekaboo, right? And Peekaboo fucking, he's playing.
Can I just make a comment about Peekaboo real quick? He's worked out the meta for clips, YouTube clips. He's the world-class player, and he just dumps to 1,700 players all day. And every time he kills some 1,600 Andy, it gets clipped and put on YouTube, and everyone's like, look how crazy he is. He's faster than some 78-year-old in 1,600. Why, he looks like a god. He's literally won BlizzCon. Get out of the 1,700s, Peekaboo, you little bastard. Get out of there. Go back to high rating, you rat. I mean, it is good content. I'll give him that. It is great content.
He's creating handicap for himself, though. He's like doing stuff with one hand. He's like drinking a White Claw while fucking killing people with one hand on his keyboard. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, right? So like, yeah. So it's you just gotta be confident in yourself. Like, if and sometimes I think, like, especially like people that are, because there's different type of streamers. There's like, you know, like there's entertainers. There's people that are there to show you how to get better at the game, right? So like, there's going to be different people you're going to watch for different reasons. There's people you're going to be like, okay, let me go watch that guy. I want to get better at WoW. I want to get better at being a paladin. I'm going to go watch that person and learn from them. You don't expect necessarily to go in that person's stream and laugh your fucking ass off the entire time. But you want to learn. You're going to ask questions. You're going to be an informative kind of streamer. And that's like a niche that you have. That's something that you have, and you have to believe that you're able to give that to people. And also, if you're going to be an entertainer and you suck ass at the game, well, you better be funny as fuck, because
I'm just fair. I'm just happy Mr. GM found his niche, starting fights on Twitter. That's
It's really good. Yeah, I love,
That works.
that. Yeah, it's really good. Love being cancelled. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I just play on a touchpad and collect mounts. That's my niche.
there you go.
That's it.
I think it's funny going off of Lux's thing too, is like, as someone who like is a competitive streamer and like an informative streamer, like I kind of envy you guys in like, it's so hard to move out of that space as like competitive and like informative, it's like it's so hard to, and that's what I would tell my past self for sure, is like if you can be like more of an entertainer and more of like a, you know, a general streamer, it's definitely easier to gain traction, like as a streamer in general, being an entertainer rather than being a competitive player, for sure. I think it's hard to move that space.
I think the one person that's done that really well is probably Shroud, because he's literally just an alien, right? You just watch him play and you just go, how can he play like this? And he cannot say a word for 4 hours, but everyone will watch him because he'll play a battle royale game for the first time and get 78 kills.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and go, what the fuck is this? Like, I think he does. He's transitioned really well from like pro player to entertainer role, I think.
But he's good at every game he plays, to be fair.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
He's an alien.
If you can be good at everything, if you can be good at every game,
Going on that one, for folks who have already started their content creation journey, that didn't say don't. What is a tip you would give them for aiming for a partner or attempting to go full time?
Oh boy.
Sorry, can you ask it again? Sorry.
For people that have already started their content creation journey, they've decided something they want to do. Like they're already like kind of got their foot in the door, right? What's some advice you would give to them when aiming for going for partnership on the platform or going full time?
Have you got your notepad ready? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. You can try to like boil it down to a few points if you want. There's like so much shit to it. It's a loaded one, but
honestly, I think these days, with like, so for perspective, when I first applied for partner, I was averaging 600 viewers a day, and I got denied partner because you had to average 750, I think, or 700 when the platform first started. I think that the only thing that's super important these days, in my opinion, is consistency. Because the numbers that you need now are borderline impossible to not hit to at least get a sub button, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's like affiliate now, and then there's partner or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So, but to get a sub button, I think the biggest thing is like if your schedule is 1 hour a day, make sure that you're on for that fucking 1 hour a day, right? If you can only be on for 2 hours a day, make sure that 2 hours people know they can turn your stream on and you'll be there.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's the hands down biggest thing from going from even like part-time or just mucking around is make a schedule that you can stick to and then be super consistent with that. So.
Definitely, yeah. Consistency is 100%. I think the biggest thing, at least for like when I was going for my partner, like if I like did a lot of like the Twitch stats that they give you are pretty like super useful, honestly. Like the ones that you can see in your dashboard are like really nice to be able to track your growth, and doing the same time every day, being there, doing similar content or the same content, and people know like, hey, you're gonna stream at this time. You're probably gonna be doing this. You're almost always gonna be doing, playing this game, whatever it may be. Even if you want to play another game, if you're going for partner, it might be beneficial to just continue doing the same thing because people know you for that.
I think the biggest thing right now, literally, hide your viewer count and never look at it. And I know that, I mean, not never look at it.
That's a lie. We all look. That's a lie.
While you're streaming, and I've actually been able to do it for the past, since I've slowed down on World of Warcraft. So about 4 months ago, when I started playing other games, when I hopped on into Final Fantasy, Guild Wars, New World, Lost Ark, it was one of the toughest things for me to see the roller coaster effect, right? So the scene go really high, scene go really low, and it started driving me insane. So literally hide that shit and don't look at it until you're done. Because if you're disappointed after you're done, it's not going to do as much damage as if you're disappointed midstream. Because if you're disappointed midstream, I'm going to fucking tell you, people are going to feel it. If you go from having like an awesome day and you're like, this is going great, what a nice, and then you look over, what, 22? Fuck! And then you're going to start feeling like, it's weird because even if you're having a good day and chat is being active and shit, you're like, okay, why the fuck is there 50 people missing today? Like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Is my head not shaved correctly? Like,
not shaved. You're 2 inches off to the left, so
it's gonna fuck you up. At least it did for me. So I started hiding that, and then I look at it at the end of the stream because I think it's important to know where you're going. I don't want you to go just like this for 3 years, right? I mean, but like you have to know what's happening, and like maybe there's days like for me Wednesday, I don't know why, but Wednesdays are shitty. I don't know why. It's my lowest viewer count of the week. It's Wednesday. So when I get a shitty day on Wednesday, well, it's Wednesday, you know, like it's
Wednesday,
I
of
just
course.
blame the fact that it's Wednesday. But I hide the number, so I don't know until the stream is over, right? So until the stream is over, then I look at my stats and I go like, and half the time now it's like, oh, okay, we actually did a little bit better than yesterday, or okay, we did like 20 left, but okay. So, but I kind of take the hit off stream instead of
you
taking
go and
it
look
all
at your
day
stats and stuff.
after the day's over, right? As
Wow.
my stream is over,
9 years I haven't done. I literally just wake up, turn my stream on. That's just how I am. I just if it works, it works, and I'll keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore.
yeah, exactly. But like, I don't make decisions based off of it. But
Okay.
I like to know what's going on, right? I like to know if something worked or if something doesn't work, because sometimes I'm gonna really enjoy a game and it really doesn't work. That's not gonna matter too much. But if I'm slowly feeling like a game is like, I don't know, like I'm slowly getting burnt on a game and I can see that the viewership are dropping as well, I might be okay, maybe it's time to, you know, instead of trying to force it just for a little bit more content, I mean, it's gonna help me make some decisions, it's gonna help me like tune some stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just it's also good to know, especially if you want to go for a partner.
It's always a funny thing about engagements, like especially social media. So I can only speak for myself, but a lot of my community is like military dudes and like truck drivers and all this sort of people. So a lot of people were on the move or they're, you know, deployed when they're watching. And so I've had people that have donated like $5,000 to support me in my life, but I can't get them to fucking like a tweet. You know what I mean? I'll be like, dude, I love you, but can you help me out with the engagements? Like, just press the little fucking heart on the Twitter, and they're like, nah, I don't use
Shut up,
Twitter.
man.
I know you fucking got one. And it's like, nah, just give me 10 subs. I don't need subs. Just click the fucking heart on Twitter, man. Retweet it, just so my numbers look good for sponsors. You fuck. And sometimes it's like with a lot of my community, it's like trying to make a fucking stone bleed. But they still support me, but they're just too old for Twitter. I just picture all these old dudes and women just going, what? Twitter? What's that?
Where should I click?
Where?
Since we're getting down to the end of this, let's ask this one. How many breakdowns do you have a week?
Every
Breakdown?
Wednesday. Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
I don't think I do, to be honest with you. It is what it is, right? It just works for as long as it works. I can never look at, say, if for whatever reason I had to quit streaming next month, right? Say something happened, I lost every sub, no one wanted to support me anymore. I'll never look at this as like a negative thing. But I've been very lucky to do this for as long as I can, and as long as there's more positive days than negative, I'll continue to do it. But I don't. There's days where like I'll be bummed out and I'll be like, oh, you know, today was a negative day, minus subs and no donos, you know, literally on 0, and that sucks. But in terms of breakdowns, I don't think I have any.
I don't have breakdowns, but there's been like I think I had one like breakdown, but I just kept it like a little bit inside. But the drop off, like usually in the summer, like it's really tough. Like if you've been streaming for more than a year and you've experienced summer, I don't know if we all experience summer the same way, but like Twitch like is like September kicks it off with like September, and then it's like November, December, January, and then as soon as you arrive in summer, it's just a crash downhill. Everybody goes outside. People don't watch that much stream anymore.
Yeah, they go touch grass.
That happening with me stopping playing WoW created an environment where I almost had a fucking breakdown. I had like the biggest drop off, and I've not been streaming for a long time. I've only been streaming for like three years and a half. And I guess I've never, like, it's always been like a steady just climb where for 3 years now, it's just been going up nicely. And it's been just a fun ride. There's been little downs, but then it would keep going back up. And then the whole, like, I'm going to stop playing WoW plus the summer created the biggest drop that I've ever experienced in viewer subs and everything. And that was a tough one to take and realize that it's just part of Twitch, right? I mean, that was the first one. And like, the thing is, if you've done this more than 3 years, you know that happens a lot, you know, but when it's the first one you experience, those are the micro breakdown you can have. You're like, okay, we're down more than 50%. Nice. This is going great. Let me keep logging on. This is
Everything's fun.
Everybody's having a good time, right?
yeah, okay.
Nervous laugh.
Let's make a sub goal for costume prince makeup. I don't know what to do.
What do you want from me?
No, but
I'll
like
say,
it's one of those things where you gotta learn a little bit of that. There's high moments, and those high moments aren't the norm, right? It's just
Yeah.
And I think like when everything keeps going into a high, you kind of feel like that's the norm, and then when it crashes and stabilizes, then you feel really bad, because Twitch is one of those things where you attach your self-worth to how many people are viewing you, and as much as we try to tell ourselves that we're more than that, like it's really, really hard to detach that number and that sub count from, because every time you lose like 50 sub, you're like, fuck.
My unlimited subathon, I lost 10,000 subs in a day the next month, right? And it's, again, it's all about that high, right? Like I can never be upset about it, because we paid for stuff with the house and everything like that, right? But doing like an M+ key and being at like 12,000 subs and being like, this is the craziest moment of my life, and finishing an M+ key and being at 2K subs, and you go, fuck! Why? I don't get it. You know what I mean? So but it's all, you got to look at the positives and all those types of things.
Well, I mean, it depends on how many windwalkers I queue into a day.
Or BM hunters.
Yeah, BM hunters, windwalkers, whatever, red paladins. I mean,
So first queue of the day, Windwalker, and you're just like, oh, never mind, it's a bad day.
This is
Fuck
gonna
this.
be a bad day. It's already a bad day. No, I definitely have to agree with Lux. Like beginning of Shadowlands, like I was saying, I streamed like every day. It was super, hugely popular. Tons of people coming to chat because everyone's trying to learn, right? And I had played beta a lot, and so I was definitely like the person to go to. Me and like one or two other streamers, but the people to go to learn how to play Warrior in Shadowlands, blah blah blah. And so obviously my success was like a lot higher than it had ever been before. And then as that fell off, and then especially with how delayed the patches ended up being going into Shadowlands, it was just like the biggest drop off ever. So it's like, it definitely, like you're saying, where you tie your self-worth to like how many people are watching you, how many subs you have. Like it's rough when the lows get that low with how bad the patch cycle was, for sure. Definitely. It was difficult.
Yeah, I just want
What are you
Hey
up
folks,
to?
thank you all for being here. I greatly appreciate it, and especially thanks to these legendary folks that are with me. This took like a lot of planning, organization. Obviously, we're different time zones, so kind of hard to find that sweet spot where you can make it happen. Appreciate y'all being patient for this sub redemption thing that I didn't expect to hit on September. Yeah, it's November now. Just want to let everybody outro themselves. Obviously, everybody in stream should know who these folks are, but just in case you didn't, Lux.
I want to say something, and I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you go to sleep. When you announced the people that you wanted on your stream, I was like, holy fuck, that's like, how are you gonna get people from all over the fucking world? Like, you couldn't have a wider array of people to try to line up schedule. I was like, you were making it hard on yourself. Jesus.
It was kind of fun.
You did well, Raisin Toast.
Huh?
And
You did well.
Thank you. That was rough, but we made it happen, damn it.
Really? I made it this whole way and I didn't say anything bad about Belliolor, so that's a positive.
You screwed up. Fuck.
You just
we're gonna have to edit the video.
Fuck.
I didn't say anything bad.
Now they can tie it up from the intro. Now they can piece it together.
Whole time just thinking about it. Revo, you have any closing statements aside from nerfing Windwalker monks?
Yeah, nerf Windwalker monks, please.
Yep.
No, I thank you. I appreciate the invitation, being here, for sure.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
a good time. Good time.
Alrighty. Well,
Amazing.
you guys can head off and go do whatever the hell y'all need to do. Panda, go to sleep. Lux, do some Lost Ark shit. MrGM, stay awake, and Revo, I don't know, kick some ass. Do some shit. Take some names.
All right. See you later,
All right.
Raisin Bread.
Yes.
Bye.
Later, folks. Have a good one.
Possibly. All right. See you later, guys.
Later. All right. That was fun. Hope you guys had a good time too. That was really cool to talk to people.